What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at an insane sword that is perfect for taking out pretty much any boss. So if you want to solo the Pit of Heresy with ease, then this will be the video for you. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. And if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now throughout the course of this week we've covered many swords here on the channel, and they range from swords which are excellent in dealing DPS if the circumstances are perfect, and also ones that are ideal for taking out certain bosses and pretty much every single champion. Now each and every video has seen a great conversation take place in all of the comment sections covering different types of swords and different roles that you guys are using to get the best damage of the swords that you have available. Now before we get into today's video, firstly credit where credit is due, and a massive shout out to Chablo91. He was kind enough to provide some of the footage that's in this video today, so be sure to leave a shout out to him in the comment section below. And as always, I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the video description as well. So the sword that we're taking a look at today is the Throne-Cleaver. This is an aggressive frame sword, so heavy attacks are stronger with full energy and attacks partially bypass elemental shields. Now just to go through the role that we have on this one, so we have a Jagged Edge, so this provides an increase to your damage at the cost of sword ammo. And alongside this we have Heavy Guard, so Sword Guard has high overall defenses but lowers the charge rate. Now the two perks here complement each other perfectly and are very reminiscent of a sword we covered earlier this week. However, when you apply this to an aggressive frame, the results you get are startling. So the two perks that we have here are Relentless Strikes, so we land 3 light attacks and within a short time that will grant sword ammo. And the last perk on this one is Whirlwind Blade, so rapid sword strikes increase the weapon's damage for a short duration. Guarding also ends the effect as well. And as you can see, we have an impact masterwork on this one too. Now if you don't have the Throne-Cleaver, you can obtain this through the Heroic Menagerie. If it's your first run of the week, you are guaranteed a sword to drop, but you will need to run it on the appropriate character for the sword to drop. So this is a Titan specific sword, so by running it on a Warlock or a Hunter, that will grant you those specific swords related to those classes. So if you want this particular one, you're going to need to run Heroic Menagerie at least once on your Titan. And then from that point forward, you are free to farm the Heroic Menagerie with a random chance of it dropping at every completion. Now we are very fortunate enough to have a sword with the exact same perks as the adaptive frame sword we have yesterday, and because we have an aggressive frame sword on this video, we can see the direct comparisons between an aggressive frame and the adaptive frame, and we can see what the damage difference is. And from some of the clips that are playing out, you can quite clearly see there is a huge difference in the amount of damage this sword is able to deal compared to the one we covered yesterday, and it makes it perfect for taking out bosses, especially if you're trying to do some of the activities solo, especially the Shattered Throne and the Pit of Heresy for example. So we're going to hop over into the tribute hall here. I've added the stats from the adaptive sword on the left hand side of the screen here, and as we progress through I'll add the new aggressive frame stats on the right hand side just so you can see the comparisons side by side. Now with the aggressive frame, as you complete 5 strikes, the percentage increases per stack is exactly the same as the adaptive sword, so that will range between 5 and 6%, providing a total percentage increase of 24% overall. Now whilst the individual percentage stacks increase at exactly the same rate, the amount of damage that's being dealt per swipe is substantially different, and you can see that from the numbers right here. Now if we compare the uppercut from the adaptive frame to the slam, the aggressive frame, so the uppercut on the adaptive frame will provide 39,089 in damage. However, the slam on the aggressive frame sword will provide 51,431. So again, another substantial increase. Now on the adaptive frame, if you get a 5-time stack of the Whirlwind Blade and then perform an uppercut, that will deliver 50,817 in damage, which is a 30% increase on the base uppercut output. However, if you can build Whirlwind Blade up to 5 stacks and then perform a slam with the aggressive frame, this will deliver 66,860, which is again 30% more than the base slam on its own. So again, the Whirlwind Blade is working in exactly the same way. However, the actual slam from the aggressive frame is providing 30% more damage than the adaptive frame. So the base damage capabilities of the aggressive frame sword with exactly the same perks on the adaptive frame has a capability difference of 30%, which is huge. So those are the base damage stats, but as always, we can improve on those. Now, because we're approaching this as a boss specific sword, if we apply the boss spec, now after breaking down all the numbers, the boss spec mod is providing a 7.75% flat damage increase. And with that in mind, that takes your base damage up to 72,056 if you perform 5 stacks of Whirlwind Blade and then perform the slam attack. But we're not quite done there. We can improve this even further if you take a Weapons of Light bubble as a Sentinel Titan. This will provide an additional 35% increase on your damage output. So under the same circumstances of 5 times Whirlwind Blade and a slam, you can now perform 97,275, which is absolutely huge, and is exactly why this sword is able to destroy bosses so easily. So that's the full damage breakdown of the Throne-Cleaver, and as you can see, the base damage capabilities of this weapon is 30% more than an adaptive frame, and when you apply additional buffs like the boss spec mod and also Weapons of Light, you can deal almost 100,000 in damage per heavy slam, which is huge for a sword and makes defeating bosses, as you can see from the footage, a easy task indeed. And finally, a huge thank you to everyone that's contributed to the conversation about swords this week. It's been a learning experience for me, and I hope you have found these videos useful when we break down swords in this way. If you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.